A very good morning to everyone present here. We are very happy to have all of you here today. Thank you for making time on a Sunday morning. So we have this special webinar curated for all our ACCA students, which is focusing on exam tips and tricks. So we have a very special guest with us today. She is Disha. She has scored all world rank 9 and AIR 2 in strategic business reporting. So she is here to share some insights, tips, and how she cracked the examination, how she could get the rank. So I hope you can make the most out of it. And guys, please do ask questions. We'll be taking questions at the end of the session. So be ready with your doubts, clarifications, and it's always good to learn from your peers. So this webinar is all about learning from your peers, not from a tutor. So welcome Disha, and thank you for welcome Disha, and thank you for joining in.
Uh,
Yes, yeah.
Hi everyone, good morning to Neeta and all the participants here. Firstly, I want to extend my appreciation to Mika for extending this webinar to me to join us as a speaker. I'm very humbled that I will be attending this webinar and giving insights and knowledge for all what related to ACCA tips and tricks. So, and I'm very excited doing it with all the participants, just making this webinar a collaborative experience here.
Thank you. Thank you. We are also very excited to have you here and to get all tips. So Disha, can you just share your journey? What has been so far, and how have you, moved academically and all of that?
Okay, so just after schooling, the first question which everyone has in their mind is what to do next. And I can also relate with the same question. But at the same time, I want to do a different thing, except the traditional one. So after a lot of research and scratching my head, I came across the term ACCA. And after a lot of research on this as well, it really attracted me because of its flexibility, global recognitions, and so on. And that is how I started pursuing ACCA along with my graduation. By now, I'm done with 12 out of 13 papers, and along with after completing my skill level, I've started doing a job along with my professional papers as of now.
Okay, wonderful. So I think you're working in EY, right?
Yes.
Yes. So can you share some, journey about EY? How did you get into EY? What is your profile about?
Definitely. So, working in Big Four has been a dream for everyone, and so was mine. So, like, I used to be very updated with all the job openings for all the Big Fours every time. And the platform that worked for me was LinkedIn. As I used to frequently updated myself for the jobs and applied for the jobs as well. And luckily, I got a call one day, got interviewed, and yeah, I'm sitting here as a tax analyst at EY now.
Okay. So I guess it's always a dream of everyone to be in Big
Yes.
Four, and so yes, keep trying. I think that's what we get to learn from you. That we should never give up, basically.
Exactly. And like, I just want to share some tips that can be helpful for the participants here, especially if they're focusing towards EY or some other big fours that you have to be very you have to do research about the roles which you are looking for and the companies which can provide you the type of growth which you are looking for. Alongside, start building networking by various platforms. LinkedIn is one of the best platform I can say. And like whenever you are applying for any job, you should tailor your application as per the jobs. This will really help to attract the interviewer or the selector to consider your resume compared to others. Like you have to be very mindful and presentful when you're presenting your resume to someone else. How can you be an asset for the organization? So this really helps.
I think yes, tailoring your CV really helps, and we have heard that from a lot of people, a lot of recruiters also. So yes, that should be followed. Now moving on to our topic, can you just throw us light on what was your study plan? How did you start preparing? When did you start preparing? Focusing on your professional level, how did you go about it?
So whenever I started a subject, a new subject, I used to analyze what the subject is about. And when I get a brief description about the subject, I then dive into the topics which will be covering the subjects, and then I used to filter those topics into complexity level, high, moderate, or low, and then I used to make a proper timetable, like how I will be, like in how many days I'll be doing a particular topic, how many days I'll be doing the revision, I'll be doing the mocks and any further questions. Like I used to divide my timetable not according to hours but according to days, as it helps me doing proper time management and gives more time for revision, for further revisions. So after completing, once I'll be done with timetable, I used to, suppose I've started doing section A and completed it and moving towards section B of any subject. I used to simultaneously do the exam kit for section A so that I can be stick to the topics which I have previously learned and do not get forget what I have learned previously. So this is how I used to do. Along with this, to do highlights and noted everything which is very important, including the professional languages, because we always focus toward presentation and perfection while we are doing our answers. So I always used to highlight the professional languages which has been provided to in our answers. Apart from this, once I'm done with this, I used to follow a 6+1 pattern, which is doing 6 days study and 1 day a revision of what I have did in last 6 days, which is the Sunday. So that's how I used to analyze all the subjects.
Okay. So I think that's good that you would simultaneously revise and then,
Yeah.
kind of helps you retain the topic better. So how many revisions typically did you have, and how many do you suggest should be done?
Okay, so I believe that what we have studied and what we get on our plate while doing exam kit has been is very different. So I used to do revision with my exam kit only. Once I'm sure that I have completed, that I have completed a particular topic and I'm sure about it, I used to find out the different types of questions for a particular topic. How can there could be a different types of questions related to one topic, and that is how I used to do my revision as well. Like if there are any difficult adjustments related to any topic, I used to focus on them later only, on that particular difficult adjustment.
Okay, okay. Also, which book did you refer to? There are multiple options now, Kaplan, BPP, ACCA Study Hub.
So I've always preferred Kaplan because the reason was Kaplan is crisp and and less explanatory book compared to BPP, because I have a thought I need to complete my course as soon as possible so that I can focus more towards my exam kit and the practice part. So I have always preferred Kaplan.
Okay, okay. And any tips on time management? How can someone finish the entire 100-mark paper?
Okay, so after completing the study and the revision part, the main focus is towards the time management, which I used to do by keeping myself under the exact exam conditions for 3 hours and 15 minutes every day by giving mocks. And that is how I get to analyze how much time I need to give to a particular section and how much time I need to give to this section. And this is how I can manage it. And I also I have observed by time that if you are giving 10 mocks in 10 days with the same exact exam conditions, then there is no way that you can't crack the paper.
Okay, can you
Yeah.
hear me now? Yeah, so I'm asking,
Yeah, it's audible now.
how many mocks do you suggest people should be taking up?
So I used to, even if I'm not confident enough, I used to prefer mocks because it gives me more confident. So there are like 13 to 14 papers available on ACCA platform, and I believe you should prefer 9 to 10 mocks as it will cover all the aspects of your syllabus. Plus, will give you very good confidence to appear for your exam, even though you're not sure whether you'll be able to complete the paper on time or not. I will really suggest to appear for 9 to 10 mocks every each day.
Okay. And so now that we have, less than a month left for the examination, what are your last minute tips for everyone? Like, what should they do in the last 20 days, 25 days?
Okay, so there could be students who have almost completed their course and who are still in their way for doing it. So I would suggest that focus on those topics which are very important compared to those which have less marks. Focus on the technical articles because it will have some questions in your exams, definitely. And then the main thing is do your mock on time. Even if you have not covered any topic, you will definitely cover those topics in your mocks. So it will really help you boosting your confidence.
Okay, great. Okay, one question which I kind of really missed asking at the start was how did you feel when you got to know that you have got a world rank and all India rank? What was your feeling?
So when I get to know that everyone is getting their rank, and it was me only who didn't get the mail. First of all,
Oh,
I had to
okay.
ask ACCA that please provide me the details whether I have got the rank or not. So it was like I have already got an idea that I got the rank, and I have celebrated it later. That was the whole concept. So it was really amazing. I have never thought that I will be achieving this. And when I get to know, it was like a dream come true for me because I'm not that intellectual or intelligent that I will that what I feel that I'll be getting this rank. But yeah, I really felt very very grateful when I got to know about it.
Okay. And were you expecting like a 85 in SBR or you were unsure that what your marks would be? How did you feel when you saw your results?
Okay, so when I get to know that I have secured this rank, plus when I get to know I have secured 85 marks in SBR, I was pretty sure. I don't know why, because my practice over SBR has been very nice from initial stages because I have very good hands on maths and standards. And later, I have started doing mocks like 15 to 20 mocks I have given for SBR. So I was sure, but not that much sure that I will be getting 85 marks. So it was a shock for me. Like I just turned the mail on and off for like 2 to 3 times just to confirm whether it is the same 85 marks I'm looking at it.
Yeah, sometimes things are like too good to be true type. So
Exactly.
nice. Okay. So any guidance for skill level or the same applies? Do a lot of mocks and read your technical article, or is there anything else for a skill level student?
Okay. For skill level student, I don't think that you have to prepare 10 to 20 mocks. I think you can give 5 to 6 mocks. That would be more than enough for you to prepare because the practice part is more in professional level compared to skill level. It's more calculative part. So you should better focus towards your calculative part.
Any tips on improving Excel skill or word skills, typing speed?
So it always depends upon your practice. You can't just think that I'll do this on my exam day. You will start. So instead, you just start doing practicing on your Excel and workbook from the day one. You start. you're doing your studying, just solve your exam kit with your Excels and workbook. Then eventually you'll get a good speed with Excels and workbook later. And that is why I used to prefer one question a day. That is it. It will not burden you and also give you a sense of relief that I've completed these questions along with these sections and questions.
Okay, great. So guys, now we're opening the panel for questions because I think purpose of the session is that you get to learn directly from her. So whatever doubts or clarifications you have, you can start pouring in. We'll take the questions one by one. Okay, so someone's asking any suggestion on how to prepare and practice for professional level exam because they're saying I'm struggling to pass. Please share your insights.
Okay, so I'll suggest that there are around 60 to 70 questions, right? You can practice 2 questions a day on your Excel. Don't just try to observe the question, what the question is saying, and then the answers. It will not help you. Just do 1 question or 2 question a day, exactly the way you will be doing in your exam, and just compare this with the ACC provided answers and highlight your mistake. It will definitely help you.
Okay, thank you. Just to add on, like I personally get this question a lot of time from students that how do we write like the answer key? So I always tell them that it's not required to replicate the same answer as per answer key. But what is your thought process? Because when someone does a map between their answer versus an answer key, it kind of demotivates a student.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, that we all students go for perfection, and it is not possible for us to do the same. And ACC is also not expecting from us to be this much perfect, and it is also illusionary, especially in that exam pressure. Because if you'll be stuck in that situation, no, it will just take you so much time. So we have a particular exam marking system. If you have write a correct answer, you will definitely get a mark. Plus, when you are solving your exam kit, just highlight those languages which you feel that you can include this in your answers just to make it more attractive. You don't have to be completely rely on that answers only. This is what I used to do. Like I used to highlight all the lines and all the paragraphs which I feel I can include into my questions, and later I used to also include into my mocks. So I don't also need to learn them. Eventually, I just got a practice of them.
Okay, great. So yes, someone's asking how can one manage professional level papers with a job?
That's a very tough task to do because I am also going through this. So I'll just say try to complete your course during weekends and do 1 question a day from your exam kit every weekdays. So it will automatically cover all of your difficult questions and start with your important topics. So like you'll complete most of your exam kit and your study parts on weekends.
Okay.
Like
And
one day a
typically,
question will be enough.
okay, and typically how many hours can they or should they put in over the weekend?
Okay. So since we have only 2 days for studies, I would really suggest that we should go for 8 to 9 hours a day. And because we will not able to study lot on weekdays, so just try to devote 2 hours per day on weekdays.
Am I audible, right? Yes, sir.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Disha, I wanted to ask you, like, if you are telling कि important question, important parts पढ़ने पड़ेंगे syllabus में, until then how हमने syllabus cover ही नहीं किया है, तब तक हम कैसे उसको guess कर सकते कि ये important topic है कि नहीं?
That you can first, whenever you're starting any subject, you have to do a research that what are the topics covering the subject, including filter out the topics into complexities. You can do this. You can just go to YouTube and search about a particular subject, you will get a detailed information about the subject. What are, for example, SBR. The For example, SBR, we have group accounting. If we are done with group accounting, it has almost covered 50% of our course. So try to do a research first that what are the important topics and then focus on those topics first.
Okay, thank you. And do you think ACC students should complete all the 13 papers first and then get a job, or he or she can do ongoing job with studies?
Okay,
What would
so
you say? What would be
I
your say?
believe that if you are just a BCom, like if you have just completed your schooling, you should just focus towards your 13 papers. You should not uh, run behind jobs because it will barely take 2.5 years to complete your 13 papers. Otherwise, you will just stuck between your job and your papers, and it will create a lot of burden on yourself, which you don't need to be. So just focus on your studies first and then go for the dessert. Like first focus on your meal and then go for the dessert.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
And just to clarify your previous question, how to understand which chapter has too much weightage. If you open Kaplan exam kit, there is an analysis topic wise, which attempt topic has come from which question. So you could use that analysis also to figure out what is the weightage. Plus, if you download ACCA from ACCA study resources under the syllabus tab, you will get entire syllabus breakage along with what comes in section A, what comes in section B. So typically, if I have to talk about SBR, we know always section A is going to be group accounting plus ethics. So you know these chapters are going to come for 50 marks. So you get this analysis. It's available on ACCA Study Hub plus on Kaplan Exam Kit. So you can use that. And yes, definitely there are a lot of tutors, a lot of resource on YouTube. So you could use that also. Okay, moving on to the next question. Someone's asking, what has been your strategy for professional level exam? And how you used to practice and get your mock answers checked? So, and did you do your mock papers from ACCA Study Hub, Kaplan, BPP, or just did a past paper practice?
Okay. So initially, I always focus towards completing my course as soon as possible, but it doesn't mean that I'll just leave the topic unclear. I'll just try that I have completed a particular topic very clearly and then go for its questions. And initially, I used to observe the questions and the pattern of question, basically the way they are asking the questions and how it has been presented by the answers. For like initially 2 to 3 questions, I used to do this, and then later I start doing practicing from the beginning. I don't rely that once I'll completing my kit and then I'll go for more. I used to do practice questions on Excels and workbooks from very starting, because I believe that we have a sense of like, and we are very lazy to solve the questions by ourselves and giving 2 to 3 hours for a question every day. But if we will be giving this time initially, no, we will have good results later. And for mocks, I have done mocks through Kaplan and the past papers which were available on ACCA's website.
So use your ACCA CB platform, I think, for mocks. That's one
That
of
is
the best.
more than enough. Yeah.
Okay. Someone's asking how are the questions based on case study based in ACCA? Are they similar to what we undergo in our graduation level?
Okay. So I haven't came across this before, like whether they are similar or not. But what I believe is if you have a very good knowledge of a particular topic, you can solve any case study which has been presented to you, and that is what the main crisp of ACCA as well. That if you have a very good knowledge of a particular topic, suppose group accounting in SBR, then you can solve any kind of question which has been presenting to you, and in any way?
So yes, practice. But from my experience, the case study pattern is definitely similar. It's an MCQ kind of a pattern. However, the technicality is way more higher in ACCA. You need to kind of read each of your question really well. You need to read your options well, because case study and MCQ is a little confusing kind of a scenario. So please read the question and the options very well. That's one tip that I have. Okay, so the next question is, if any ACCA student join as a fresher or at an entry level, what would you advise us to begin in which field basically, whether in audit or tax or anything else?
Okay, so that basically depends upon what you really want to do. For me, I have always wanted to know what how this tax works, how to file tax returns, and so I have an attraction towards tax. So you have to identify while you studying the topics, the audit, tax, and FM, including PM as well. Once you think that you have very a particular subject is very familiar to you, or you're getting very interesting with the subjects, try to do more research, like how in practical life the particular things works, and that is how you can final, like in what field you need to go, because what we study and what we do in our practical lives as job is very different. So try to do a research on that as well, like what, like for example in audit you studied audit procedures, audit evidences, but we have a different thing when we are doing work as an audit associate. So try to research, find what an audit associate actually do there at jobs, and that is how you can find confirm.
Yes, so get a little practical experience. Maybe you can talk to someone who's already in that field and get an
Yeah.
idea how it works practically. Okay, so the next question we have is, if I want to work abroad, which paper do I have to choose at my professional level? From
So
the four options, I guess.
sorry.
From the four options, how does
Yeah.
someone choose
So
which
we
kind of
have
paper?
AAA, AFM, ATX, and APM. So I would say AAA in ATX will give more more opportunities for you, and aside from this, it is not about which subjects, like it is not about if you want to move abroad you have to choose this subjects. It always been the your favorite subjects or the subjects which you want to pursue as your career. It is more about this, because these subjects will not limit your way to move abroad.
Yeah, I think your area of work is more important. So if you want to get into audit, then AAA is mandatory. If you want to get into tax, then ATX is kind of mandatory. Probably that is how you should be choosing your professional level paper. Okay, so we have a very interesting and a common question of each student. Do you think it's possible to clear professional level exam with just 35 days of preparation?
Okay, so I don't think so. Initially, it would be possible if you're done with your study part, because in professional level papers, the thing which is required the most is practicing your questions each and every day. So practice, if you can do practice each questions like 2 to 3 questions a day, then it is possible. Otherwise, it's a bit tricky to answer this.
Okay, so I think probably then you will have to put in a lot more hours if you have 35 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be done, but there's always a but to it. So okay, which professional level exams did you choose?
So I have chosen AAA and AFM.
Any particular reason for choosing these
So
options?
I want to move towards audit field as of now. So I have like I'm very, because triple A is very theoretical, and I have always a fan of theory. Like whenever I used to get a chance to write, I can do it very easily. And apart from that, I have a fear of numbers, and that is why I have chosen AFM. That I want to get out of this fear that the numbers always afraid me sometimes. So I've chosen AFM. This was not where I want to go, but yeah, it's something where a bit personal for me. AFM.
Okay. So one is a favorite, one is a less favorite.
Exactly. I just want to balance it out.
Okay, nice. Okay, so the next question we have is, did you check your mocks yourself or did you take help of any tutor?
No, I have checked my marks by myself only. I used to prefer YouTube where there are some videos available, like how the person, how a particular tutor is checking the marks, and that is how I used to do with my marks as well. So this is how I have prepared.
Just to add on to this, in case you require guidance on how to check your mock, there is a document called "Read the Mind of the Marker" for
Yeah.
each of the subjects, so you can refer to that. So, which helps you understand how the marking scheme works, how the marks are allocated, and what our tutors comment on an answer. So, you could check that. And in case you require any kind of help in terms of checking your mock, then you can also reach out to me because I also help students in terms of mock evaluation and those things. Okay. So someone's asking, is it important to go through technical articles for a skill level paper?
Uh, Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Is it important to go through technical article for a skill level paper?
Okay, so for skill level papers, I would say it is very important, but it would really help you to understand your topics better, because technical articles always add more value to the topics which you have studied. So it is preferable to go with your technical articles. It won't take 5 to 6 hours to go with your technical articles. You should prefer doing technical articles.
Also, one suggestion that I have is technical articles are again topic wise. So, as in when you're studying a topic, you can go through the technical articles simultaneously, and it's not like a burden at the end of it. Okay, so someone's asking a center-based or a remote-based exam. Which option do you think is better?
Okay, so I've always preferred remote-based exams because I have to go a long distance for this. But center-based exams, you'll not face any. There is no point that you'll not face any technical glitches at center exams. This is very normal. You can face any glitches, any technical issues anywhere, whether you'll be attending remote exams or center-based exams. It's just that you have to be very calm whenever you came across any situations, because the issue can because the presentators are there and very helpful. They can help you anyway and try to solve your queries very easily. So you have to be very calm on these situations. And there is no difference between center based and remote based exams for me.
Okay.
You just have to
So
give
there
your
is
paper at any cost.
okay, guys, you can ask your questions. Okay, so there is also a myth that remote-based checking is different versus a center-based checking. So, what do you have to say about that?
So I have never came across this question, this myth before. So it is not at all like this, because we are giving exams, and no one knows that who has given exams by center based and remote based exams, to the best of my knowledge. So it's actually a myth only.
Okay. And did you give any two papers together, or have you given one paper?
No, I believe that if we want to score good marks in any subjects, we have to be, you know we have to be that with that subject only. And I don't want to divert myself with other subjects, and that is why I've never tried to give two papers at a time, but it is not something which is not possible. There are very many students who used to do this and clear these papers simultaneously. So it is possible to do two papers at a time.
Okay. Okay. So we have next question is, do you have any regrets while doing ACCA, and how have you solved it? So something, if you felt this did not go well in my examination or anything like that, and how did you deal with it?
So it is like I have given my exam. I have no other choice. So just leave it and move towards to your next paper. That is what I used to believe. We cannot focus towards our past. That has been gone. So just focus towards your next paper, and there is nothing like regret. One thing which I will add is, do not pursue job and study together if it is not required, so that we can just focus towards your studies and then to the job.
Okay. Uh, how can someone fulfill their PER if, doing the study and then doing a job? I think it'll make the journey quite longer in terms of reaching your ACCA membership.
Uh, your voice is lagging, Megha.
Okay. I'm asking, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying the ACCA membership journey becomes quite longer if you're doing your studies first and then your job. So do you have any suggestion or tips around that?
Okay. So it's like we have to give 3 years to our practical experience to get the membership. So I also had the same thought that after completing skill level, I'll be doing job. But later, what I have observed and what I have observed is it creates a burden on yourself that you have to do, that you don't get time for yourself and for other stuffs. It's just your job and your study. That is it. So I would prefer, if it is not required to do job, then just focus and try to complete your papers as soon as possible. So the next step is just to focus towards your job. So one thing at a time will give a better result, I believe.
Yes, and also it's a professional level examination, so
Yeah,
definitely
so
it
you
is
have to devote
challenging.
more time compared to skill level.
Yes. Maybe, plan it really well so that you can complete it with your graduation. So that would
Exactly
be
my
a
point.
better option. Okay. So someone's asking any specific tips for AFM and SBR?
Okay, so for SBR, I'll suggest that once you complete your group accounting parts, try and go to your exam kit and find out all those adjustments which are very different to what you have studied, and highlight those adjustments for the group accounting. Then comes to ethics. Try to highlight those questions which are different, because we normally get same kind of questions with a little bit of changes in them. So try to find out the changes and then and then study on those changes first. And for AFM, I would suggest you can always focus or start with risk management, as it is the most important topic, and advanced investment appraisal. Just solve your questions with you, like with on Excel. It will help you creating a better speed for both SBR and AFM.
Okay, thank you. So we have another question is, do you think it's worth to relocate for your job from your personal experience because you have also shifted?
Yeah, like if you really want to do something, you have to make efforts for it, right? You have to do some adjustment for it also. You have to do efforts for it also. So there is nothing which you will get easily in your life, is what I believe. You have to do something, right? So relocation has never been the issue for me. It might be an issue for others. So there are various firms that do provide work from home also.
But how has your experience been in being a Big Four? Is it being hectic? Is it being challenging? Or is it like a new day every day?
Okay, so for me, it has been a dream come true. So every day when I go to my company, I used to feel like I'm living my dream. And whenever I came across any situations or some difficult challenges, I used to feel very good about it, that I'm learning something new on it. So it's not about any challenges. It's more about how you can, overcome those challenges and being confident in that situation.
Okay. So yes, I think being in Big Four is everyone's dream. So, and yes, we have already covered one webinar earlier with one of the Big Four partners on how to crack a Big Four interview. So if you require tips around that, you could watch that on my YouTube channel. And I think you can also reach out to Disha on LinkedIn to get some tips. Disha will also be very happy to help all of you. So we have another question. Guys, we're taking last few questions. So whatever questions you have, you can start dropping it in. Okay, so someone's saying, I am a graduate and I've got 5 paper exemption. So is it a burden for me to go for a job after my skill level paper or any advice on this? Do I get a job after skill level or after I complete all my 13 papers?
Okay, so I would better suggest that try to complete 2 papers at a time, so that your time will not stretch more. But if it is not very necessary for you to do job, then first please focus towards your papers, because it will otherwise give a bit stretch to your papers.
Yeah, so better to focus first on your studies, then go for a job. Meanwhile, yes, you can look at some internships, which are pretty light, and you're getting enough time to study, and you're also kind of completing your PER. So that could also be an option. So have you completed your PER? Just like out of curiosity.
As of now, I am still doing my PER. So I'm done with 1 year of PER and left with 2 years of PER.
So yes, we can learn from her that we should focus on our studies and then focus on practical experience. I think that's why the flexibility is also available.
Yeah,
That
like this is my personal experience, and that is why I'll always say that try to complete your papers as soon as possible, because we have so much time when we are not doing job. So it's better we do papers first.
So we have one question which wherein someone's asking, what's your plan after Big Four?
I haven't thought about it, but yeah, once I'll be completing my PER, I will be moving more towards Big Four, but in abroad. That is what I have planned so far.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, any plan after is completing your ACCA or after getting an ACCA membership? Do you plan to study ahead or just work? Any plan there?
So I really want to take a break to my studies, but at the same time, I feel that if I take a break, the break will just got stretched. So I am thinking of pursuing some other courses, but I'm not sure as of now. I'll be thinking of doing ATT, which is related to tax. And apart from this, I am also thinking that I will be teaching students, especially for SBR. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, great. So yes, we have another tutor who is there to guide you. So you can watch out for Disha starting her classes. Okay, so someone's asking after completing 9 papers, how much pay can one expect in India or abroad or like in a Big Four?
Okay, so it normally varies from company to company, but it is between 25 to 30 that a person can expect if you are done with your graduation plus your 9 papers, because some companies can hire you even if you are not graduated, but there are more companies which will not hire you if you are undergraduate. But the range will be between 25 to 30.
Okay. So someone's asking, do you have any plan of being an entrepreneur, or just continue as a job?
So till now, I'm very enjoying my job because there is a taboo that corporate we are laborers to the corporate, but I have always been against to it because this is what I am really enjoying it, and how can I say that I am a labor to this corporate world? So until and unless I'm enjoying my work, I will not think about any entrepreneurship.
Okay, great. So we have a question which says, do I have to go for masters abroad, or ACCA is enough?
I'm also still going through the same question. So once I'll be doing the research, I think that Mega would be able to give answers on it better.
So see, from my experience, it honestly depends on what field you want to work in. If you want to stick on to audit taxation, ACCA is quite enough. However, if you want to get into consultancy, or do you want to get into some management profile, then definitely masters is required. So it all depends on what your focus in life is, what your career aspiration is. Question. But okay, do we have any written round at a Big Four interview? Could you just say or elaborate on what are the Big Four interview
Okay,
process?
so there could be different rounds. The first round would be the testing round, where you will be getting a Google test paper to solve the paper for like 1 to 2 hours. It will be a general questions, more about logical reasoning, some mathematical questions, some grammatical questions, some essays that you have to do. And later on, there will be an HR round. Once you complete, like, you will get a call for HR round if you have completed the required level of score. If you have scored the required up to the required level, and then you will get an HR call. You will have an HR interview, and after that you will be having your technical round. Technical round could be with your seniors and with uh, the partners as well. So that really depends upon from company to company, but there could be two technical rounds if you are going for a better or big positions. Otherwise there will be one technical round.
No. So someone just asking about the earlier question itself. When you said that they can expect about 25 to 30, so they're saying, is it 25 to 30,000 per month INR in India if they're going to get a
It
job?
is 25 to 30 per month.
Okay. And any idea on what is the salary abroad that they can expect after a nine paper?
I have no clue on it. I think Megha can share her views on it.
So I honestly don't have much idea about nine paper, but if you've completed your entire ACCA, then about 15 to 20 lakhs annum per annum is what you can expect once you're going abroad. So someone's asking, what is the average package for a fresher or a graduate at a Big Four?
So it also varies from Big Four to Big Four. For example, EY used to give a lower package initially and then gives a better hike later. Other Big Fours used to give a better package initially and then then give small hikes later. So the average would be between 6 to 7 LPA per annum.
For a graduate?
For after completing an ACCA,
After completing
and you are
ACCA.
just a fresher.
Okay. And any idea about graduate?
For graduate, I would say it would be between like 3.5 to 4.
Okay. 3.5 to 4 is what you can expect. Uh, Guys, any more questions? Taking in last couple of questions. Okay, so I think, okay, please. Okay, so someone is saying I have cleared FA, MA, BT, and law, which are basically the first four papers. One of the CA in my city is offering me an internship. Can I record per on that?
Yes, you can record your PER on that internship if you have to first consult with your CA that whether they will be providing you the required certificate for this internship or not, and then you can fill this in your PER as well.
Just to clarify and add on to this question, so your PER can be counted 5 years before your registration also. So any 5 years that you work before your registration is valid. And in India, a CA can sign in for your PER. It's a very simple process. You have to just create, just give in their details. They will get an email. They have to create their login ID, password, and they can sign it up. So it's very simple. Again, if you have any clarification regarding PER, you can reach out to me separately. I can guide you on that because we'd want to focus more on the study tips here. So yes. Documentation, all of that, we can take it up later. You can please reach out to me separately for PER guidance. Okay, so someone's asking, can a non-CA be a part of tax department at EY?
Yes, definitely, because they do hire graduates, and you will find certain examples in Big Four also who are just graduates but working as a senior manager or working as a partner. So it's not always about what you have studied. It's more about your personality and how you are doing your things there. So a non-graduate or a non-CA, sorry, not a non-graduate, but a non-CA can also work as any process at Big Fours.
Yes. So I think any graduate from a commerce level is,
Yeah.
open to work at a Big Four. Okay, just last question that I have from my end out of curiosity. Did you face any interview rejection? And, if so, how was the experience? How did you bounce back?
Okay. So I do face rejections, and I feel grateful that I did get those rejections because sometimes give you more confidence that and a not like a self doubt that I have to what were my mistakes. I used to call HR and ask what were the mistakes that I have did and how can I improve that, and that is how I have evolved with my interview tips. That you have to be very confident is what very important whenever you are doing any interview. Even if you are not sure about your answer, just say I'm sorry, but I'll just brush up this later and come up with a more explanatory one. So your confidence is what an interviewer looks for. There was this time when I had an interview, and I was not very well versed with the interview as I was not very technically well versed with the interview, but still they selected me because of my confidence, is what my HR told me. So confidence is very important, and normally an interviewer looks more towards your confidence, that how confident you can be even if you don't know about the situation, like how you can be confident in your challenging situations at Big Four as well, at any firm, at any place.
Okay.
So don't
Yes,
get nervous anytime.
I think being confident, yes, matters a lot. So guys, any more questions around exam tips, how to prepare for exams? You don't need an internship certificate for signing off your PER. You have to just create a login ID password on the ACCA portal and get it signed. You can reach out to me separately for PER questions because I think I can answer those later for you. So I think yes, we have answered most of the questions in terms of exam preparation tips. To just kind of summarize all Disha's tips, one and most important, please do mocks. At least do 10 mocks for your professional paper, 6 to 7 for your skill level, and do your questions simultaneously with your topics. That's also what I personally recommend everyone. It kind of helps everyone to do it. Okay, so you can do that. And I am just typing in my contact number so that if anyone wants to reach out to me, you can for any kind of guidance. And probably you can reach out to Disha on her LinkedIn profile. So this is my number, 9680756998. If you want any kind of guidance regarding ACCA per job opportunities, you can definitely reach out to me. Okay, so we have one last question. Is EY doing only partnership tax or all kind of UK tax?
So EY is not just limited to partnership tax. It has all the taxation categories for UK, Singapore, Ireland. So it is not just related to partnership tax. It has corporate tax, partnership tax, individual tax. So it's a vast like EY has a vast platform for tax as well.
Okay, thank you. Uh, Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for making time on a Sunday morning and being here, joining our webinar. And thank you, Disha, so much for coming in, talking to our students, helping them, and clarifying all their doubts.
Thank you so much, Megha, for having me here. And thank you to all the participants who have joined. And it's been a very grateful and humble to me that I came here to, guide everyone on this. And I believe that I have somewhere helped you on this. And you guys can always connect to me whenever you need me over LinkedIn. Over LinkedIn, I will be open to help you all every time. Thank you, Megha. I really want to appreciate that you have extended this opportunity to me to join this as a speaker. Thank you so much.
We are very happy to have you and to share your insights. Okay, we have last two questions quickly. So someone's asking, UK clients are outsourcing their work to countries like India and Pakistan, where they can get work done at a cheaper rate. So is it difficult for an ACCA to get a job in future?
Um, it is not because India is a country which is developing. So it is not always about the cheaper labor because anyway you will be doing your work, right? So it can be whether they will not, outsource their work, your work will work, like you will do your work as well. So it's not something which have to worry about that there will be no jobs in India for ACCA later. I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. So it's not going to take up the high paying jobs for sure because high paying jobs are never outsourced. So those will never go out of place. And how to apply at EY, I think Disha has already covered at the beginning of the session. So,
Okay, so it really depends at what role you want to apply for. Once you have get an idea that you want to apply for a particular role, just try to connect with current employees, any former employees at EY. Try to get any referrals. Be very, very updated with the job openings related to that role. Also, I would suggest that try to tailor your applications according to job role as it gives more possibility to select your role because the more you'll present yourself, like how you can add value to the organization, the more there will be chance that they will select you. So this is how building networking is very important and getting updates on the job openings is very important along with tailoring your applications.
okay, thank you, Disha. We have. Okay, so someone's asking, Only if you are open and okay with it. Someone's asking what is your salary and how much work experience do you have?
Okay, so I would say that when I completed my skill level papers, I was still undergraduate, but I did get a job paying me 35,000 at that time. And I somehow felt that it was just because of the confidence they have seen in me. But later, I did face many demotions, which was like currently at EY that I am getting a lesser salary than what I was getting before. But it is just because I'm still left with one paper. Once I'll be done with this paper, the salary will extend to around 60 to 70,000. So yeah, and what was the next question? The
What
score
was
which
your
I have
score? Yes.
in the ACCA papers. So the highest one has been SBR, which is 85, and I have also secured 69 marks in AAA. So this was the like AAA is something which is very difficult, right? So that is why I've just highlighted that 69 in AAA. And okay, so in PM I did get okay 80 marks, but somehow I didn't get any rank in that. Also, I get the lowest mark. I just want to share the lowest marks, which was 52 in my FM, because I was not sure whether I'll be completing this, whether I will be, clear this paper. I just left it, just stay calm, let it be. What will happen, will happen. But luckily, I just cleared it.
Yes. So I think scoring 69 in AAA is also wonderful. It's a very good score.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think all questions answered. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I hope you have got some good tips and you will be very confident for your upcoming ACC examination. If you require any kind of guidance, you can reach out to Disha or me, and both of us will be able to help you in terms of your studies or in terms of your job, PR, anything. And yes, once again, thank you for making time on a Sunday morning.
Thank you so much, and best of luck for your future to everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Disha.
Thank you, Megha. Bye bye. Hope you have a good
Bye.
day, and
Yes,
hope
you
all
too.
have a good day.
Yeah.